Looking over my notes on this record, this has got me off on another tangent, another road. This record, the Top Gun soundtrack, at number 26, Loverboy, Heaven in Your Eyes, holding steady at number 26 from the previous week. Fantasy playlist of September 6, 1986. I found out some amazing things about this Top Gun soundtrack. I was going to talk about the Top Gun movie a little bit, about how much it grossed and all that. But then I started reading all this stuff about the Top Gun soundtrack. You won't believe who was approached to do some of these records. Or maybe you won't be surprised, but still. I'll get into that in just a minute. Let's talk about this song by Loverboy, Heaven in Your Eyes. Mike Reno, lead singer of Loverboy. Gotta give this to him. Here's the thing about Mike Reno. Maybe he's been overrated. I'm sorry, been underrated. He's probably been underrated. He can sing the rocking records like Loving Every Minute of It or Working for the Weekend. Guy could rock. He's got a classic rock singing voice. And yeah, he can do these ballads, these tender ballads like We'll Have It in Your Eyes, and off the Footloose soundtrack, he teamed up with Ann Wilson and did Almost Paradise. Got some of the songwriting credit on this record too, Heaven in Your Eyes, along with Paul Dean, the lead guitarist of Loverboy, along with two songwriters, singer-songwriters Mae Moore and John Dexter. Mae Moore, who co-wrote this record, she had some pretty big albums in Canada. Bohemia was her biggest album in Canada, came out in 1992, and a year before that she was nominated for Juno as Most Promising Female Vocal. 1991, Mae Moore had another song out in Canada called Genuine, which did well there. That was in the 90s as well, but now we're in the 80s. Of course, talking about Top Gun. I remember watching the Top Gun movie at the Tide Theater here in Tuscaloosa on the Strip, down from the University of Alabama. Down the strip from the University of Alabama, down from Danny Chimes. Tide Theater, no longer there though. Watched that Top Gun movie, enjoyed it, but not everybody did. I'll get into it just a minute. Now, Danger Song was off that album, the soundtrack, along with Take My Breath Away by Berlin, but Berlin was not approached. They were not the first choice to do Take My Breath Away. Among the first choices was Toto, that they would get an opportunity to do Take My Breath Away for Top Gun. But there was this legal problem between the film producers and the band's lawyers, and well, you know how this stuff goes. Forget it. But still, Toto was going to do another song for that soundtrack, a love ballad, like the love ballad of Top Gun. It was called Only You. But again, the legal conflicts intervened, and that idea was nixed. Motels. They were approached to do Take My Breath Away. They came out with a demo, but I guess it was turned down. Although the demo that they did for Take My Breath Away appears on an album by the Motels called Anthology Land. Boy, how about that? Oh, it gets even better. Danger Zone. REO Speedwagon was approached to do Danger Zone, but REO Speedwagon turned it down because they couldn't contribute their own material to the soundtrack, so they said, forget it, we're not doing Danger Zone. The producers went to Corey Hart. How would you like to do Danger Zone? Corey Hart said, no, I prefer doing my own material. Gosh, who else? Bryan Adams approached to do Danger Zone. And the film producers were going to let him contribute an original, one of his originals to the soundtrack. Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams refused because he thought the film just glamorized war. Speaking of which, the keyboard player of Loverboy, Doug Johnson, this is a keyboard-driven record too. That's one of the salient features of this record, the keyboard, which makes it a classic power ballad. But Doug Johnson does not appear in the video because he thought the song, he thought the movie, Top Gun, the movie, was just too over the top on military service and war. Just glamorized it. Wasn't having any part of it at least as far as appearing in the video was concerned. Gosh, I'm going to look over my notes to see if I missed anything else. Danger Zone, eventually done by Kenny Loggins, and Take My Breath Away by Berlin, and Mighty Wings by Cheap Trick, also on the soundtrack of that film. All right, well, that's it. Done. Boy, that's a lot of chestnuts of information right there for you to digest. Loverboy, Heaven in Your Eyes at number 26. Fantasy Playlist, September 6, 1986.